Why you asking me about the old ways? Got my record spinning, got my head spinning too. Something's been missing, tell me what you gonna do.
Why you asking? Why you asking? Why you asking me? Why you asking? Why you asking? Why you asking me?
Why you asking me about the real sound? Why you asking when the beats were real loud? Back when rhymes had meaning, back when flow was tight. Now I'm barely believing what I hear at night. Why you asking me about the pain we felt? Why you asking when the truth was what we dealt? Had to earn respect, had to work for every line. Now you asking me to help you understand mine.
Why you asking? Why you asking? Why you asking me? Why you asking? Why you asking? Why you asking me? Why you asking me?
Why you asking me to teach you how to be? Why you asking for the key to what I see? I remember grinding, I remember being broke. I remember finding myself in every word I spoke. Why you asking me about the struggle now? Why you asking when you never learned how? You want the feeling but you skip the work. You want the healing but you skip the hurt.
Why you asking me? 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 Why you asking you? Asking you? Asking you?
Real hip hop.
I watch you mumble through 16 bars. Think you earn respect from streaming charts. While I was cutting my teeth on pork jams, you were still in diapers playing with toy fans. Every word I spit got weight behind it. Years of grinding, you can't rewind it. You see me nodding to that boom and bap. Remember when skill mattered more than trap? Real recognize real, that's how we used to do. Now you got kids thinking autotune is truth. I'm writing letters to the culture we once knew. Real recognize real, but do you recognize sounds like it came from algorithms? Mine comes from living through the rhythms. I seen cats battle till the break of dawn. Now you scared of freestyle, talent gone. You think a million views make you official? I was there when this was more than digital. Writing rhymes in composition books. Learning from the masters, not from TikTok hooks. I ain't mad at your success, just disappointed in how the standards got disjointed. Used to be about the message and the craft, now it's all about going viral fast. Real recognize real, that's how we used to do. Now you got kids thinking auto-tune is truth. I'm writing letters to the culture we once knew. Real recognize recognize real, but do you recognize you? This is how we do it. The old school never die, you just read quiet. Never died, we just went quiet. You asked me about the block where I came up. You asked me about the block where I came up. Same corner store, same broken steps. You wasn't there when we had nothing left. You asked me about the block where I came up. You asked me about the block where I came up. Back in the day we knew the way. You wasn't there, you wasn't there. Back in the day we knew the way. You don't know, you don't care. You asked me about the block where I came up. You asked me about the block where I came up. Now you wanna play, you understand the game. Talk about respect, but it ain't the same. What you asked me about the block where I came up. What you asked me about the block where I came up. Back in the day we knew the way. You wasn't there, you wasn't there. Back in the day we knew the way. You don't know, you don't care. Same corner, same faces every day. Same corner, same faces every day. Where you from? Same corner, same faces every day. Same corner, same faces every day. Where you from? You can't fake where you from. You can't fake where you from. You asked me about the block where I came up. You asked me about the block where I came up. But you don't know the price we paid to stay. All them sleepless nights, all them hungry days. Ask me about the block where I came up. You asked me about the block where I came up. Back in the day we knew the way. You wasn't there, you wasn't there. Back in the day we knew the way. You don't know, you don't care. Yeah, yeah. You asked me about the block. You asked me about the block. But you don't know. You don't know. guys would cipher in the park and polish every line. Now I watch these young bucks claim they the next to blow, but they never had paid dues, never struggled, never know the weight of empty pockets while you chase your craft. The sleepless nights perfected while the world just laughed. They think success is instant, think respect is bought, but legends earn their stripes the battles that they fought. I seen the game evolve from pure to manufactured lies, for basement tapes to boardroom deals and corporate ties. These T-kids want all the glory, but they skip the grind. Thinks that fame equals talent, but it's truly blind.
Real recognize real in this game we play. Authenticity can't be faked away. I've been here from the start, watch the change unfold. When substance matter more than chains and gold.
Backroom skills determine who could touch the microphone, where freestyles lasted hours and your talent was shown. These newcomers got shortcuts, auto-tune their voice, but me, I chose the harder path, it was my only choice. I witnessed hip-hop birth itself from struggle and pain. Now it's watered down for masses, just commercial gain. The pioneers who paved this road get no respect at all, while imitators rise to fame, watch the culture fall. My scars tell stories that these rookies never live. My bars hold wisdom that the streets have always given. They sample our foundation, but they miss the point. This ain't just entertainment, it's our sacred joint.
Real recognize real in this game we play. Authenticity can't be faked away. I've been here from the start, watch the change unfold. This in substance matter more than chains and gold. Real recognize real, that's the only way. Authenticity can't be faked away.
They'll never understand the hunger that we felt. The hours in the lab where our passion always dwelt. This music saved our lives when nothing else would do. Now they treat it like a trend, but we always knew.
So when you see me nodding to that booming back, no one paying homage to the cats who drew the map. The one who came before and laid the cornerstone. For everything these new cats claim they own. I ain't been it, just protected, but this art form's hard. Seen too many vultures try to tear it apart. But real always rises while the fake just fades. True talent lasts forever while the hype just pays. So keep your platinum plaques and your industry praise. I'd rather have respect from the cats who paved the ways. This music runs too deep for shallow minds to grasp. It's more than just a sound, it's our culture's blast.
Brand recognize ramblers, yeah, you play. Authenticity can't use caked away. I've been here from the start, must the change unfold. Spencer's marriage map, all these J's are cold. When I look at yours now, it's folly way. All things this thing you change, you fake away.
Remember when we had respect? Yeah, check it. Back then we carved names and park benches, earned strikes through ciphers, now it's just pretenses. Used to study legends, dissect each bar, now cats want shine without battle scars. La da da. Remember that? Spent nights perfecting flows, writing in composition books while y'all was chasing clothes.
School days, when we learned the craft right. School days, put in work through each night. Oh yeah, that's how we came up strong.
Basement sessions, borrowed equipment, real dedication, not quick shipment. We respect the elders, ask permission. Y'all just take and call it your vision. La da da, see the difference. Knowledge earned through struggle. Underground movement, now surface level hustle.
School days, when we learned the craft right. School days, put in work through each night. Oh yeah, that's how we came up strong.
Tape decks recorded, rewind, repeat. Perfecting time and finding the beat. Y'all want instant, we built foundations. Generational, not quick sensations. La da da, feel that way? History in every line, culture passed down proper. Now y'all just wasting time.
School days over, class dismissed.
scared funk.
Back in the day when rappers was real, y'all new cats don't know how we built this, from the block to the booth, with our hearts on our sleeve, now y'all just pose, for the gram, for the likes, for the fame.
Old school flexing,
That's how we do it,
old school flexing,
y'all can't touch this,
old school flexing,
real, recognize real,
old school flexing,
this is our house, used to battle on corners, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, ciphers in the park, till the sun came up, now y'all just tweet, from your mama's basement, talking about the culture, but you ain't live it.
old school flexing,
That's how we do it,
old school flexing,
y'all can't touch this,
old school flexing,
real, recognize real,
old school flexing,
this is our house, We was hungry, y'all just thirsty. We had passion, or just fashion. Respect the game, learn your history.
old school flexing,
That's how we do it,
old school flexing,
Y'all can't touch this,
old school flexing,
Real, recognize real,
old school flexing,
This is our house, Back to basics, that's where it's at,
old school forever.
Forever. Where you at when the culture was born? Where you at when we carried the torch through the storm? Where you at when we grinded for years in the cold? Now you wanna claim a crown? Where you at? You wasn't there when we built this from nothing at all. You wasn't there when we stood up and answered the call. You wasn't there when we put in the work, paid the cost. Now you wanna run the game? Where you at? When we was building this rap? Where you at? Now you tryna take it back? Tell me where you really at. Where you at? 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 Where you at when we studied the greats every night? Where you at when we practiced
bust our craft till daylight. Where you at when we traveled the world spreading truth? Now you think you can skip all the steps, where you at? You wasn't there in the cypher, you wasn't there in the booth. You wasn't there when we spoke to the people with proof. You wasn't there when we carried the weight on our back. Now you wanna wear the crown. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? When we was building this flag. Where you at? Where you at? Now you tryna take it back. Where you at? Where you at? Tell me if I'm paying back. Where you at? 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 Where you at when we fought for respect in the street? Where you at when we made every word that we speak? Where you at when we turned every loss to a win? Now you acting like you been here since day one began. You wasn't there when we struggled, you wasn't there when we grew. You wasn't there when we kept it 100 and true. You wasn't there when we earned every scar, every mark. Now you step into the light. Where you at? 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 When we building this rap. Where you at? Where you at? Now you tryna take it back. Where you at? Where you at? Tell me where you really at. Where you at? 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 Oh, go! Go! Oh! Go, go! Go, go! Remember back then when the beats was raw. Had to dig in the crates just to find what y'all never heard before. Now they got it all wrong. These new cats don't know what it takes for this song. I was there when the scene was still young and fresh, before the internet made everybody guess what real hip-hop sound like, what real hip-hop feel like. Back then we had to grind just to make the real band. Back then when the music was pure. Back then, and the skills was for sure. Back then, we was hungry and real. Back then, that's the way that we feel. Back then, back then. Now I see these young boys with they auto-tune flow. Think they know the game, but they don't really know how we used to battle on the corner for respect. How we used to cypher till the sun came up next. Day after day, we was grinding so hard, learn to scratch and mix in my own backyard. While these new school cats just press play and go. Never touch two wheels, never learn the real flow. Back then, when the music was pure. Back then, and the skills was for sure. Back then, we was hungry and real. Back then, that's the way that we feel. Back then. Back then. Real hip hop. Back then. Back then. Back then. I remember when a mic check meant something real. When you had to earn your spot, had to pay your deal. Now with money but with skills and with heart and soul. Now these kids think fame is the ultimate goal. But back then, it was all about the art. Every word that we spit came straight from the heart. Every beat that we dropped had that boom and that bap. Not like this new school computerized crap. Back then, when the music was pure. Back then, and the skills was for sure. Back then, we was hungry and real. Back then, that's the way that we feel. Back then. Back then. Back then, That's when hip hop was real, y'all. Back then. Back then. Back then. Back in the day, when shit was real. When shit was real. Check it. Back in the day. Remember when we used to cypher in the park? Freestyle until it's dark, leave our mark. Now these new cats don't even know the art. Back in the day. Yo, I remember that shit. Back in the day when we kept it so legit. Back in the day we had heart. Back in the day we had soul. Back in the day we kept it real from the start. Now these new school cats got no control. Back in the day. Back in the day. Fuck all these rappers with they auto-tune flow. Back in my era, you had skills to show. Complex rhymes, multi-syllabic prose. Back in the day. We studied legends, learned the code. Now these kids just chasing that dough. But back in the day, we had that glow. The real hip-hop, the shit you know. Back in the day was better. When rap was clever. Back in the day forever. Back in the day. Back in the day we had heart. Back in the day we had soul. Back in the day we kept it real from the start. Now these new school cats got no control. Back in the day. These motherfuckers got no respect for the craft. They think it's easy, make me laugh. We grinded hard, took beatings on our behalf. Back in the day, battled on corners, earned our stripes. These new cats just got hype, but we remember them cold nights. Back in the day when we did it right, la. Back in the day, that's when hip-hop was here to stay. Back in the day. You bring that real shit back, I say. In the day. Why you keep asking about the way I used to flow? Back when heads knew what real meant, you wasn't in the know. Asking questions about my grind, about my hustle from before. But where you been when we was building this from nothing on the floor? Who asked you to break it down? You weren't there when we was starting out. Who asked you to run your mouth? Now you wanna claim you feel it. Say you understand the pain, but you never felt the struggle. Never danced inside the rain of rejection and the hate. All the doors that wouldn't open while we stayed true to the craft. Kept the real hip-hop spoken. Every bar was earned through sweat. Every rhyme was built on hunger. You just showed up to the feast when we ain't kids no longer. Who asked you to come around? Who asked you to break it down? You wasn't there when we were starting out. So who asked you to run your mouth? Tape man. Real, recognize real. See the difference between me and you was crystal clear. I was rapping when your cool wasn't even in your ear. Build my name on every block, every cipher, every battle. While you studied from the books, we was living through the rattle of the subway cars at night, spraying tags up on the wall. Now you wanna act like you was with us through it all.
Who asked you to come around? Who asked you to break it down? You wasn't there when we were starting out, so who asked you to run your mouth? Questions, questions, always asking, but you ain't put in work. Questions, questions, always clashing with the truth that really hurts. Next 5 you on tap about the wind. This guitar no one knew was that it is, and knew it's just work. That's
Next time you wanna talk about the way it used to be, who was really big and who was just wannabe.
Buddy shit. Look, this buddy shit. Watch it, crowd ya. No, I remember back when respect was earned, not bought. When cats would practice in the basement till their skills were taught. Now I watch these kids with their auto-tune and fake flows, acting like they know where real hip-hop even goes. I put in work when the block was cold and empty. Carry notebooks full of rhymes when my pockets weren't plenty. But they don't understand the grind of late nights writing while they post on social media about their fake fight. Back when it meant something. But we gave it everything. Now they jumped it on me. Back where I seen the culture shift from skill to who's got the most likes. From ciphers in the park to manufactured hype. These new cats don't study the legends who paved the way. They just sample all the records without respect to pay. I watch my heroes struggle just to get their songs played. Now every wannabe rapper thinks they got it made, but they never felt the hunger, never scraped for change. Never had to prove themselves when the game was strange. Back, Lepo Reed gave it everything. I ain't bitter, just disappointed in what we became. When the art form I love got reduced to fame, them were just a prop. And they wonder why the real heads say the culture needs to stop. So I keep my head up, keep writing these lines, keep the spirit alive from those earlier times when bars meant something and the story had weight before the internet decided who was truly great. I'll keep representing what this music used to be, even if the new school would never really see that back when we started, it came from the heart, not from marketing plans designed to top the charts. When it meant something back when we had nothing but we gave it everything. Back, and on the rap back when. Back when. Back never scream. Back never scream. Back when. Back when it was real. So yo, Bill. Bracking up the scream.
Check the flow, kid. Times done changed. Streets still the same, but the gang got rearranged. They don't know where we came from. Basement tapes till the sun come. Real ones built this. Brick by brick, now they claiming what they never did. Sweat and tears, blood on the mic. Putting years, they just hype. Real, recognize real, that's the deal. What you feel ain't the same. Check your claim to the name. We the ones who came up from the slums. Now they front like they done what we done. Studio time cost a dime, had to grind every rhyme. Ball beats from the street, made it sweet. Can't compete with the hunger. We was younger, full of thunder. Now they wonder how we did it when they quit it. Before they lived it, real real, recognize real. That's the deal, what you feel ain't the same. Check your claim to the name. We the ones who came up from the slums. Now they front like they done what we done, yo.
They talk about the culture, but they wasn't there when we was building from the bottom. Now they acting like they blood. Talking about the struggle, but they never felt the pain. Never held the microphone, nobody knew your name. Never felt the pressure when the crowd was looking cold. Never had to battle just to keep your story told. Never spent your last just to make a demo tape. Never had to hustle just to catch a lucky break. Never felt the doubt when they said you'll never make it. Never had to smile when inside your heart was breaking. Now they wanna claim they understand the game. Never walked through fire, never felt the flame. So when they step to me talking about respect, I just laugh, ask them what they done to earn it, yeah.
Real, recognize real, that's the deal, that's the bid. Lick it flash down, hope to fight the ground that you feel. Watch you love with the town, we can kids in the trails. The real like the bill, take the knee. Real, recognize real, that's the bill, what you feel ain't the same. Check your claim to the name. We the ones who came up from the slums. Now they front like they done what we done. Times change, but the real remain in the game. Check the name. Real take a life real. You know this game, but you don't know me. I've been there grinding when the block was empty. When cats were breaking beats on the street corner. You were somewhere else, ain't no true mourner. For this culture that we built with our bare hands. Now you jumping in like you understand the real weight of what it took to make it. All the nights we stayed up, never faked it. I remember when respect was something earned, not just given out to whoever concerned. Themselves were getting views and getting likes. You ain't never walked these streets on cold nights, so don't come talking about what hip-hop means. When you wasn't there grinding in between, the space where struggle meets the art form. You a newcomer caught up in the brainstorm. I've been here, been here from the start. You've been there, playing no part. I've been real with the craft. You've been fake, that's making me laugh. Look me in my eyes when I'm talking to you. Tell me what you sacrificed to make it through the years when nobody cared about the culture. Now you circling around like a vulture, picking at the bones of what we created, acting like your presence was anticipated. But where was you when we was in the basement, recording tracks with no proper placement? Just the love for the beats and the rhymes. Now you here talking about the good times.
You lived them like you earned your stripes, but you missing something, missing the right to claim this space that we carve from stone. You can't inherit what you ain't never known. The difference between performing and being, you just acting, I'm the one who's seeing.
Been here from the start. You been in there, been playing no pride.
This ain't about old versus new. This about respecting what is true. This about knowing y'all place in line. This about earning every single rhyme. So when you step to me with the attitude, remember who was here when times was crude. Before the money, before the fame, I was here, perfecting my aim, making something that will forever while you was chasing whatever. Trends was hot, whatever seemed cool. I was busy learning in the real school. With less and less a glumber for it who protect the essence of this doughy hip-hop. From those who try to make the culture stop. Evolving naturally, organically grown from the seeds that true practitioner sown. So step back, recognize where you stand in relation to those who understand. I've been here from the start. You've been there, playing no part. I've been real with the craft. You've been fake, that's making me laugh. Check it, I remember when the block was real, before the fake changed and the phony record deals. Back when Castle Cypher on the corner every night. Now they got studio time, but they can't even write. I seen the game change from raw to polished chrome. These new kids claiming culture, but they ain't from my home. We built this from nothing, just beats and some rhymes. Now everybody's famous in these digital times, but I was there when the wheels of steel would spin. Before the computers took over, when the DJ would win. Scratching up the brakes with the skill in his hands. Now they push a button, think they understand. Back in the day when the culture was pure, every bar had weight, every rhyme was sure. Now these kids got fame, but they ain't got the soul. We paved the road that they claim to control. Back in the day, when the real ones were the only ones who stayed. Back in the day. I watch these cats on the gram with the flexing, but don't know the struggle the lessons we learning. We carved names in names, it was burning. Now they buy there and spark by the learning. Who just tap back with just rack by the gear for the mic in your hand in the crowd. When your words move the people and your flow was stabbed. We didn't need the machines to make our voices heard. Just passion in the heart and power in the word. These young cats got followers bucking to move a crowd that's on strain. And for blind, this fighting the surge for lights and on the meds. And the whiz got fade and you got some marble. Now we nipping there, so for sack was the hay. Back in the day when the culture was pure, every ball had weight, every rhyme won't pure. Now these cats with fame, but they ain't got the soul. He pedal lane when the track that could they don't run with only ones who stay. Back in the day, I went here with a hope in the slather was beneath and horse with Noah's Ark. Track and hold a patch, brandle the stain was with a buried brain. This on fade like the game going out with jealous step, but they J by the gate. Fuck his lap in the jaw. They frabbing the side of a rad and listen rocks with the fray by the needle on a record getting round. That's the realest kind of music, that's the truest kind of sound. So respect to the legends who showed us the way. And the cats still grinding in the underground today. We honor what was built while we build something new, but we never forget where we came in the day when the culture was every girl who the hate on the bed. They go and came with the paint on the script. Grab the grill when it day.
day when the real was real.
Turntable scratches.
Check it out. I know what time it is. Real heads know. Back when we had respect for the craft, now these cats don't even know the past. I was there when it started, grinding every day while you was watching cartoons. I was finding my way. Study the legends, learned every technique. Now you want credit, but your flow's still weak. Real heads know. Real heads know. Where you was when we built this from zero. Spitting bars in the basement, no hero. Just heart and soul, putting in work. Now you claim the throne, but you don't deserve.
Real heads know who paid the price. Real heads know who rolled the dice. Real heads know who earned the right. Real heads know. Real heads know. Real heads know who paid the price. Real heads know who rolled the dice. Real heads know who earned the right. Real heads know. Real heads know.
You wasn't there in the cypher, you wasn't there in the bar. You wasn't there when we spit in the dark. No spotlight, just love for the art. Now you want fame, but you missing the heart. I remember when skill was everything. Now it's all about the followers you bring. Real heads know the difference between fake and the flow. We carved this path with blood and sweat. You just showed up trying to collect. Who was there?
Price. Real heads know who pulled the price. Real heads know who earned the right. Real heads know. Real heads know. Real heads know who paid the price. Real heads know who rolled the dice. Real heads know who earned the right. Real heads know. Real heads know. Real heads know who paid the price. Real heads know who rolled the dice. Real heads know who earned the right. Real heads know. Real heads know.
You got bars, but you soft as cotton. Skill so rotten, your flow forgotten. Back when we was grinding, you was nowhere around. Now you claiming you the king, but you ain't earned the crown. 16 bars deep, complex rhyme schemes. Why you chase the fame in them Instagram dreams? Real recognize real, that's the code we live by. You a fake in the game, just a suit and tie. Neighborhood respect, that's what matters most. You ain't from the block, you just here to boast. Check your credentials, where your stripes at. All talk, no action, that's a known. Real recognize real, and you ain't it. Claiming you the truth, but you counterfeit. We been in these streets since day one. You just showed up when the fame begun. Real recognize real, that's the law. Everything you claim, we already saw. Authenticity, that's what we bring. You just a pretender. Remember when we was broke, making beats in the basement? You was sipping on champagne, we was facing displacement. Now you wanna tell our story like you lived it too, but you on the struggle that we been through. Spitting fire since the cypher on the corner block, while you was in the suburbs learning how to talk street credibility. You can't manufacture that. Real ones know the difference between real and whack. Your style so borrowed, your flow so rented. We the architects, you just apprentice, but you want the credit for the foundation laid. Acting like you built what we already made. But you counterfeit. We've been in these streets since day one. You just showed up when the fame begun. Real recognize real, that's the law. Everything you claim we already saw. Authenticity, that's what we bring. You just a pretender. Listen up, young blood, let me school you proper. Started from nothing, now we showstoppers. Earned every penny, every ounce of respect. While you was playing games, we was belting direct. From the ground up, brick by brick, we constructed your whole facade, easily instructed. Check the resume, check the battle scars. You got participation trophies, we got battle bars. Veteran status, legendary with the pen. Been spitting since before you knew where to begin. This ain't about age, just about dedication. You want the crown, but you lack the foundation. Real recognize real, that's the golden rule. Step to the vets, you just playing a fool. Knowledge is power, wisdom is key. You can't fake the funk that comes naturally. Real recognize real, and you ain't it. Claiming you the truth, but you counterfeit. We've been in these streets since day one. You just showed up when the fame begun. Real recognize real, that's the law. Everything you claim we already saw. Authenticity, that's what we bring. You should pretend. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. When MCs had skills, not just height. When you had to earn respect, couldn't buy it overnight. I remember block parties, real DJs on the scene. Now these cats think they rapping, but they chasing the green. Used to freestyle for hours, now they need ghostwriters. Studio gangster soft, but they act like street fighters. I've been here since day one, watching culture shift. While these new cats claim they got that lyrical gift. This is old school flow, what you know about that? Real hip hop soul, bring the culture back. Turntable spinning, vinyl crackling loud. We built this thing up from nothing, we proud. Old school flow, yeah, that's how we roll. When rappers had passion burning deep in their soul. These young boys think they inventors of this game, but we laid down the blueprint, they just biting the fame. No auto-tune needed when you got real bars. No social media flexing, just respect from afar. I remember when a cypher meant something real. Now they drop weak tracks, hoping for mass appeal. Then you had to battle, prove you worth the mic. Now they pay for features, man, that don't sound right. Yeah. This is old school flow, what you know about that? Real hip hop soul, bring the culture back. Turntable spinning, vinyl crackling loud. We built this thing up from nothing, we proud. Old school flow, yeah, that's how we roll. When rappers have passion burning deep in their soul. Boom bap, that's the sound
sound we love. Real drums, real bass, push come to shove. No samples cleared, just raw talent shown. This the house that we built brick by brick, stone by stone.
I ain't bit about the new wave, just speaking facts while they chasing viral moments. I'm keeping skills intact, real recognize real. That's how it's always been, but nowadays fake get rewarded. That's the world we in, so I'ma keep it moving. Stay true to art, cause hip-hop ain't just music, it comes straight from the heart. Old school forever, that's my legacy. Next generation better learn some history. This is old school flow, what you know about that? Real hip-hop soul, bring the culture back. Turntable spinning, vinyl crackling loud. We built this thing up for nothing, we proud. Old school flow, yeah, that's how we roll. But rappers add passion, burn it deep in their soul. Old school flow, tape stacks and fly. Real hip hop never die, never die. Old school flow, we stay fly. Yeah. Listen up, young blood. Time for some real education. Let me break it down for you. Yo, check the scene. You think you know the game? Fresh kicks, fresh chains, but your flow's the same. Copy-paste rappers with your auto-tune pain while I'm spitting raw wisdom through the sunshine and rain. You wasn't there when we was building from the dirt. Before the fame, before the money, before the thirst. My pen bleeds truth while your lyrics rehearse. Kids, sit down, class in session, let me school you first. School you first, school you first. Time to learn what real hip-hop's worth. School you, let me school you now. Real recognize real, but you don't know how. School you, break it down somehow. Been here since day one, take a seat and bow. School you, let me school you now. School you, let me school you. See, back in the day when we was hungry and broke, every bar that I wrote was the realest I spoke. No ghostwriters, no features, just me and my hope. Turntable spinning while a mic caught the smoke. You got followers but no soul in your sound. Chasing trends while I stay underground. My crew been tight since we was lost and unfound. Now you want props but you ain't paid no dues around. School you first, school you first. Knowledge is power, quench your thirst. School you, let me school you now. Real recognize real but you don't know how. School you, break it down somehow. Been here since day one, take a seat and bow. School you, let me school you now. School you, let me school you now. Yeah, let the record spin, let the lesson begin. So when you step to me with your manufactured flow, remember who paved the path that you chose to follow. Your style's borrowed, mine's authentic and raw. I'm teaching school, homie, classes now in session, y'all. Respect the culture, respect the craft. Don't bite the style and expect me to laugh. My words cut deep while yours just splash. Kid, take notes, cause this wisdom getting laughed. School you first, real education, know your worth. School you, let me school you now. Class dismissed, but the lesson lives on.
Yo, 6 in the morning, sun barely up. Cousins like, come on, time to see what's up. Never walked these blocks before dawn. Heart beating fast, but I'm trying to stay strong. Just observing, yeah, taking it slow. Streets telling stories I ain't never know. No, stories I ain't never know. First time walking with the real ones. First time seeing how the street runs. Eyes wide open, learning something new. This is how we do, this is how we do. We corner store owners, nodding their head. Old heads posted where the hustler's bred. My cousin whispers, see that cat right there. Been holding down this block for years, I swear. Watching every move, every single play. Learning street rules that they don't teach in day. Yeah, we moving careful, staying fucking grateful. First time walking with the real ones. First time seeing how the street runs. Eyes wide open, learning something new. This is how we do, this is how we do. Police car cruising, everybody freeze. Cousin grabs my arm, says just act with ease. This ain't no game, this is real life shit. One wrong move and your whole world split. But I'm family now, walking with respect. Learning codes that you can't just neglect. Oh, the streets got their own language. Respect and understanding. 6 a.m. lessons in the morning air, showing me a world that's always been there. Yeah. First time walking with the real ones. First time seeing how the street runs. Eyes wide open, learning something new. How we do? Yeah. Tell me how we done.
Been baptized by broken glass. 6 in the morning, sun still catching up fast. Walking with bulls who learn to count cash. Before they could count to 10, now the dice cast. My cousin Carlos, he calls me Little Bud. Since they see how we survive when push comes to shove. Brooklyn block, breathing life in the lungs. Teaching lessons that ain't learned, only lived and sung. While you walking where the wicked won't go. Street speaking secrets that you should know. Rock party, but the beat ain't from no stereo. Tell me, cousin, what you trying to show? In the corner, conversations creating criminal minds. But callers keeps it real, read between the lines. Listen, little blood, let me break it down clean. Not everything you witness is what it seems. These cats creeping through the cracks, say cartoon. They hustle hard from dusk until afternoon. Some survive, some don't see another season. But everybody got their own personal reason. Why you walking where the wicked won't go? Street speaking secrets that you should know. Block party, but the beat ain't from no stereo. Tell me, cousin, what you trying to show? Building blocks built from brick and betrayal. Every corner got a story, some succeed, some fail. Carlos counts as blessed, counts as scars the same. Says the street don't discriminate when you're playing the game. Building blocks built from brick and betrayal. Every corner got a story, some succeed, some fail. Carlos counts as blessed, counts as scars the same. Says the street don't discriminate when you're playing the game. Now I'm older, understanding what he meant that day. When he walked me through the war zone, showed me how to pray. The conflict gods who grant wishes with consequences. Building character through chaos, learning life's expenses. That morning made me molded my mental frame. Now when trouble comes knocking, I don't run from pain. Carlos taught me courage comes from facing your fears. 6 a.m. sermon still ringing in my ears. Why you walking where the wicked won't go? Street speaking secrets that you shouldn't know. Block party, but the beat ain't from no stereo. Tell me, cousin, what you trying to show? Brooklyn's blueprint burned into my brain. That early morning walk, walking through the rain. Carlos and his cousins carved out their lane. And I learned sometimes wisdom comes wrapped in pain.